right. Good evening, everyone out there. Welcome to the second part of the double header this evening. We're coming back at you with a Division D West matchup here, a division you and I know oh so well, Punisher. Thanks for joining me here this evening, and how are you doing, sir?
Good, Dax. Thanks for having me again. This is, I think, my third cast with you, and it's getting more and more enjoyable every time.
Absolutely. Like I said, co-casting is fantastic. Anyone out there, if I cast, I'd love to have co-casters on. You get to have all the fun talking about the games and all that good stuff. Don't have to worry about all the technical stuff when it comes to streaming and all that other good stuff. Now, I'm already confused between both of these teams because they both are rocking the same portrait synergy. So hopefully these teams are correct, or they can swap there. It's even getting talked in there. They're just asking who copied who here. But these teams are ready. The banter is here as well. So let's jump over here onto the maps, showing everybody, pardon me, how we got here. Taco, thank you, sir, for the raid. Love to see you. Red Mayhem in the chat. Hello, dear. Thanks for being here. Yep, we got Dax with the Blackhearts. An ode to Blackhearts Bay, as we see it here. So, Metabands is the home team here. They did lose the coin flip, and VibeCheque wanted to take first pick here. So we do have BOE and Braxis is going to get banned out by Metapicks here, and VibeCheque opted to ban Infernal Shrines and Dragonshire, and Metapicks wanted to take us to Alterac Pass here. All right, so what do you like to see here on Alterac Pass?
Yeah, no, definitely. Again, a kind of a nice. I would call it kind of a mid-tier size map here. So we should expect a lots of ARAMing down the middle here, getting that bruiser camp going through pretty quickly, and overall nice objectives and nice time to see some good engages here. So I'm all about those, and I love watching the big team fights. I'm hoping for some good engages and some really drawn out battles here.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a lot of strange vibes coming out here. Both these teams ban some decent macro intensive maps between Braxis and Dragonshire, even Infernal Shrines. But opting here for Alterac Pass, another larger map, 2 bosses to contend with, so a lot of action can happen on those boss pits, as well as those pit fights around those camps when your teams have to capture them. So looking forward to this particular map here.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think we're looking at here, Dax, as far as some team styles?
So I'm not sure if either one of these teams plays the Lost Vikings. You can see the Lost Vikings here. Any globals. So Falstad, since the touch up last week, is in a really good spot. It feels really powerful. So we could see the Falstad picked up here. This is an Abathur map as well. So we could see Metapicks opting for a Vikings comp or an Abathur comp.
Yeah, absolutely. But unfortunately, we see my Stukov banned out. I'd love to see that. Maybe someday we'll see him in an action here together. And then a Sonya as well for the other team.
All right, so these teams are doing their homework. They are going to ban the Maiev there, something you don't see very often here, so probably saw something that they don't want to face off against there with that Maiev ban. And Hanzo ban can solve the objective, can poke, and has a ton of damage as well as there.
Yeah, absolutely. No main tank Maya for us here, but lots of combos that can be played into that. Whether you get a little Orphea, some Jaina in there, lots of good things to pair with that.
Yeah, Warden's Cage is just one of those game-changing ultimates if it can go off, or even the Stasis, depending on what it's going up against. Like one of the only things that can shut down the Deathwing here. But Blue Space Hat opting for that Anubarak. Now, I know we saw that quite a bit coming out from VibeCheque in our particular game against them. Loves that dive comp with that Anubarak. But turning around right here, looking at that Anubarak, we do see a Brightwing. Going to have those polymorphs as well as the Tychus.
Absolutely. 2 good pickups, nice counters to the Anubarak. And then, really with the rest of that, they kind of really full on go with the dive comp there. We'll see a lot of Brightwing action, some good polymorphs, and really just kind of helping out with disrupting that dive.
All right, and you know what? VibeCheque holding up to their standards here, opting for the Greymane, taking Greymane into a Brightwing can be pretty detrimental. But you know what? If you follow up a Nubarak in there, there's only one polymorph to go around. So, and then the Tron to stun. So have the 3 pieces of their tools, but out comes that Orphea ban. Good call by you there.
Absolutely. We see that. But yeah, no, lots of good classic for the dive here at the new rack follow up with the Toronto Sun and Greymane. It's gonna make for a real bad time for the Metapicks here.
Yeah, I mean, Brightwing does have a cleanse, kind of baked in onto her trait. And I don't know what the cooldown is at 60, 70 seconds, I think, without talenting into the CDR. And then Nubrax burrows up, I think, every 10, 15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And Toronto with her Sun every 13, I think, or so seconds with that. So expect to get that down. So we'll see how that plays out for him. But we see the Chroming Band there as well. So a nice mage really helping with the kind of getting rid of any of the poke that they may have on the objective here as well, and stalling it out with their Chromie there. So nice ban. I like that from the VibeCheque.
All right, so Li Ming is still up and available for both these teams. Can poke, but Junkrat is still available as well. But we will see Massino going to go ahead and opt for that Mei pickup as well as the Kael'thas. So Mei, really great as an anti-dive tank. It does have the Avalanche. Can kind of just push that button and shove the whole enemy team back where they came from. So I like that pickup there.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll get a little fire and ice that Game of Thrones promised us here in Season 8 and never delivered on.
Right, we didn't get it at the end of that HBO run there, so maybe we'll add it here into the Nexus. But speaking of that, we do still see Giggleshmack going to go ahead and pick up that Jaina, as well as the Leoric pickup here. So, we got that Ice Bath coming out here from the Leoric Jaina combo. Love to see that.
Absolutely, especially with that, with the slows as well, between Jaina and Leo with stuns from New Breck and Toronto. It's going to make it really kind of hard for, I think, Mei to kind of get back and retreat after potentially sliding in and looking to disrupt a little bit of their dive.
All right, absolutely. So we do see that last pickup is going to be Rexar. You don't get to see Rexar too often. I respect Rexar players. I mean, I can't even control one hero safely, let alone two. But being able to provide the extra stuns and CC on the front line to pair with that Mei I like to see that.
Absolutely. A little Misha Berry action is always a good thing for everyone to see.
All right. So jumping back to us here as we head into this game, any particular draft you're favoring more than the other?
I think that the Metapicks they did a good job kind of counter picking a little bit of that dive there. Mei is patient. With the new rack dive, they have enough to kind of slow him down. Kael'thas has a nice set in there, Brightwing some lockdown. So I think we'll kind of see a little bit of a hard time if they go full into the dive from VibeCheque. So I think I kind of am enjoying Metapicks countering what VibeCheque was doing there.
Yeah, absolutely. But we will see. I like the camp clear coming out and the boss race coming out better from the side of VibeCheque. Kael'thas can clear camp pretty well, and Tychus has the siege damage, but not necessarily camp clear or the boss clear. So, I think it'll come down to some team fights here.
Yeah, absolutely. Which again, I'm all about that right now. So it'll be enjoyable to see some skirmishes there.
All right, so getting us started here for game number one. On the left-hand side, we have Metapicks. We have Lumpico on that Tychus, Mazzino on the Mei, Lee Dragoon on that Brightwing, Pants, only Pants, on that Kael'thas, and Toxic on Rexar. And who do we have on the right-hand side?
We have Gigglesmack on the Jaina, Blue Space Hat on the Anubrak. We have Red-Faced Beast on Greymane, Jaxtaman on the Tyrande, and then Megu Milk on the Leoric.
Absolutely. So let's get squared away here in the middle on the bridge. Stereotypical fight sequence for any WoW players out there. Let's take a look here at some level 1 talents. We do see the standard Mana Addict coming out for the Kael'thas there. We do see the Lunar Blaze stacks coming out for the Lunara, as well as Fingers of Frost for Jaina looking to grab some globes. So normal talents all around here, but we do see the dash going to come out from the Tychus looking to get some wiggles there, and Misha Bear just taking the blunt of all of those auto attacks from the Tyrande there, but Blue Space Fat finds himself in a little bit of trouble, does burrow charge out of the way, does get blind, does eat some of those Kael'thas bombs.
Yeah, absolutely. Good pick up there. I do like that they're splitting off and going to their lanes, separate lanes as well here, but again, we'll see a little bit of an advantage from the lane clear from the guys over at VibeCheque.
Yep, absolutely here. So Pants will step up, is going to go ahead and flame strike that wave into nothing. As we do see the team's 1 minute up and now available. Both teams are going to rotate over onto their camp. We do see Greymane and Tyrande rotating, and then we do see Brightwing and Kael'thas rotating respectively for either side. Now we do have Tychus going to go ahead and trade up here with Leoric. So, I mean, does have the range here, can bully Leoric a little bit. Take a peek down here. Now Jaina bullying poor Misha Bear. Not going to be able to secure the kill there. But pretty advantageous matchups for both of these teams. We might see a swap, but Jaina stepping up to steal the globe. Misha Bear does get the stun. Toxic getting the trade out onto Jaina. She is running away there. Misha does not fall. Both these camps picking up from both sides, and they're going to meet here in the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaina getting out a little bit there, a little bit close, but no, I like the bottom lane. I like the top lane matchup too. I think we'll see a little bit of Tychus kind of trading, but I think Leo's got enough sustain between that right now where I don't think that they're really in too much of a worry on that Leoric dying up there.
Absolutely. Just jotting some stuff down here. Just some notes because I'm old and I forget things.
Oh, that's perfect.
All right, taking a peek here at the off lanes. Just some friendly trading going on down here in the bot lane, in the top lane here as well. Both players topped off pretty well. We do see Mega Milk go ahead and land that huge Q. Does get that raw fist onto the Tychus there, but needs to be careful because he'll just step up and get some of that damage onto him as well.
Absolutely, and looking to see a little position from VibeCheque there. Maybe looking to see if Rexar was coming up, looking for a pick there, but Rexar is being classic, staying in lane, and potentially looking at maybe taking down Jaina there, but no advantage there. But good look on VibeCheque for maybe looking for a quick pick for this objective.
Yep, the sight is out onto that Brightwing from Jax Tax. Going to see Brightwing already positioned there to take that camp. So the name of the game of this particular map is these camps are so important. There is only one. They do grant about 500 experience each. They spawn every minute and a half. But if left alone here during these objectives, they can get so much work done in the mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, definitely key is just staying on top of these camps and really getting those out every minute and a half to try to get what little or as much of an advantage as you can in that middle lane there.
Absolutely, we do see Leo in the top lane there trying to get sevens for the team. Both teams should hit sevens here pretty directly at the same time. But Mazzino finds himself a little bit just eating a lot of that poke damage coming out, as well as taking most of the damage from this camp. Needs to be careful here. Greymane can provide a lot of burst damage, but both teams just looking to clear this camp out here. In the mid, we do see Tychus peeling up there to continue to catch some of that soak, but the blue space hat needs to back away. It is connected with that living bomb. Mega Milk does connect onto Mei with that hand, but the stun going to come out onto blue space hat. Will live to tell the tale. And just a lot of poking coming out from both these teams.
Yeah, just a lot of good trading back and forth, really trying to pad those healer stats a little bit, it's looking like here. But yeah, and overall, I think so far they're kind of being a little passive, clearing lanes there, but definitely looking to try to get what advantage they can there.
So they do get the slow out onto Lampico. The stun is followed up on, but unfortunately he did a great job getting to the safety of his own wall there. Mazzino is going to slow the rotation of this Greymane, but here they are, blue space hat. We do see the icing coming out from Mei to get on out of there. The Blizzard to stop any re-engage there. So we do see the side of VibeCheque going to make the first play on to the first objective here.
Absolutely. Nice stall by Tychus. We'll see if he pays for that. No way to capitalize, but Jane in the middle there looking maybe potentially go down, but trying to get enough healing out there to kind of keep her alive.
Absolutely, and they're going to turn onto this Mei. She does hit the ice block to keep herself topped up. Great stun coming out from Blue Space Hat, and that will be first blood going over to the side of VibeCheque there. And then shortly following up, Misha Bear does go down. Lampico should have a grenade to kind of cancel that channel. Not going to throw it out there in time. Redface Beast does step up and try and pressure them back here a little bit.
Absolutely. And one thing I worry about, like I mentioned beforehand, there's just so much slow and kind of negative movement speed on the side of VibeCheque here. It's really hard for Mei to go in and really to get her safely out. It's going to be a little bit difficult right now for her.
Absolutely. So taking a look here at the level 1 stats, we have 11 globes coming out on the Kael'thas, 13 globes for the Jaina, and only 2 stuns for the Lunar Blaze, but we didn't get to see too many team fights or stun opportunities there, so. But not too much pressure coming out here from the Tyrande to get that one finished. It's not like she's an incomplete hero without it.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're looking to see VibeCheque committing 4 guys up to the top lane here, which, that's not the worst idea ever. Really kind of pressure top lane. They're looking to position and try to maybe take take out that first, the first 4, make way for the keep, and maybe look at a boss here and set that up nice and easier.
I think so. We do see Mazzino going to go ahead and try and dive in the backline, but in comes the Rider, going to be able to boost the movement speed and the damage coming out from the side of VibeCheque. The stun does come out, is going to connect onto May. Let's see the follow-up Q stun from the Anubarak, but nothing else is going to follow up there, so they will clear that. They did get the wall there. Let's see, they should be able to push out this as well, get the wall in the middle. And let's take a peek down here in the bot lane, and we do see Mega Mill pushing pretty hard. The Rider is going to fall here, half the wall and climbing, but 10s now, both online for both teams.
Looks like a missed ice wall there at the moment. A little bit of zoning off, we'll say there, but nice stun follow-up, and looks like we're to clear out all the first objective there pretty easily without much loss on the side of Metapicks here.
Yeah, absolutely. Great defense, especially with a team that has a Greymane and a Jaina, 2 heroes that has a tremendous amount of siege damage. You know, they lost a little bit of health on the fort top and actually none on the bottom. It's got full health there. So just walls all the way around. So great defense coming out. To your point, is Metapicks.
Absolutely. No loss in Wells as well between the top and bottom. So really positioning nice, especially for that second objective being in the lower half of the map there. That'll be really good retreat options for Metapicks there.
Right, absolutely. So go ahead and both these teams going to go ahead and grab their cams. Jane is going to go ahead and finish her globe quest here at level 7. Going to get that mana regen, so she should have an easier time in these fights. Somebody's going to come out and not connect to anybody from this veranda, but we do see Anubarak kind of get caught there down. I thought they were going to get out, but unfortunately no. Going to eat that Tychus grenade to their doom, and great pick there by the side of Metapicks.
Absolutely. Really, really well done. Nice patience on that. And unfortunately, Nurag just took a few too many tower shots there.
Absolutely. We're going to see VibeCheque able to go ahead and back, get some health and some mana for the next team fight. They should be able to make quick work here of this camp pushing down here, as we do see, take a peek down here in the bot lane. We do see Leoric going to go ahead and rotate to help clear this camp in the mid.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dex, I got to ask, looking at KT, especially with the Tyrande there, not taking any spell armor at the moment, are you surprised we see Phoenix come out instead of Pyroblast?
It's hard to say. I think with the Ice Wall from the May, kind of set up that Phoenix. But yeah, I mean, it's tough to say, right? Because I think it was left at Tyrande, but in comes the tube, down goes the Kael'thas. Unfortunately, just one of those immobile mages not having a way to get out of there. So well done on that pick. But yeah, to your point, I think they could have probably went Pyroblast. Like I said, Tyrande doesn't have really a ton of burst healing to keep anybody up from that.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, just a nice play, nice recognition on the top push there from VibeCheque, and really nice engage there.
Oh, Brown Balla in the chat. LFG Metapicks, let's go. Hello, friend. Hopefully you are doing well. Glad to see you here in the chat. But the quick channel there, I was looking for maybe a quick boss play once they got the pick up there in the top lane on that Kael'thas, but death timers here sitting at 13, not quite 16, awfully low. So we do see both teams go ahead and rotate for the camps respectively. We're going to see the tanks just kind of poking each other here in the mid lane, but just Jack's tax, man, just great job by him keeping up the vision of that camp, just knowing where Metapicks is at all times. Just vision's just one of those things in this particular game that I think just goes kind of ignored. So Blue Space Out does go ahead and dive in, but not going to connect to anybody. Does get the cocoon onto the May. The pings are coming out for the Blue Space Out. Is living bombs. Going to spread it to Jack's Taxman, who does run away with it, not spreading to anyone else. But Jaina finds herself in a little bit of trouble. Pings are going to come out, and that slow coming out, the Misha Bear, and down goes VibeCheque. But Jaina does get the ice block, so now available for her as well. Red Face Beast going to go ahead here in the mid lane with Blue Space Hat's safety and protection. Go ahead and clear this, but we do see the channel coming out from Metapicks.
Yeah, absolutely. Just unlucky for Jaina there. Amisha kind of snuck by that stun by Tyrande, and that was kind of all she wrote on her.
Yeah, those immobile mages, man, I'll tell you what, it feels real bad when you kind of get caught. But in comes the stun from Blue Space Hat. Red Face Beast is diving on the backline onto that Brightwing, but the Polymorph is going to come out. Out comes the Living Bomb, and down he goes as well. Great blink heal from Lead Dragoon there to get out of harm's way. But Machino does get that Ice Wall connecting onto 2 members of VibeCheque there. We do see Jack Tax Man, unfortunately, going to find himself kind of caught out. The Polymorph and the Grav the gravity laps coming out to seal the deal there as well of Aroma Jack Taxman, and that'll be second objective going over pretty favorably to the side of Metapicks.
Absolutely. Good engage there again. Nice. Really great ice wall. I can't stress that enough. Really helped isolate lock 2 down. And, unfortunately, we talk about immobile mages trying to kind of classify that with their healer and just really has no escape once she gets dived upon. So well done by Metapicks on that last little stand there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, even Ice Wall, I know we were talking about the dive coming out from the side of VibeCheque here, but even Ice Wall can kind of put a damper on any sort of dive if landed properly outside even of Avalanche. And at least Avalanche can kind of screw up your teammates depending on communication there. But in comes the team looking at to get a pick behind the fort onto Mega Milk, but does get the polymorph. May is here to kind of slow and zone, and down goes Leorc as well. There's another successful gank, and 16's now online for the side of Metapicks here, and looks like they have the momentum here.
Absolutely, and then unfortunately, definitely Heroes of the Storm. We all know it is a momentum game, so not out of the realm for VibeCheque to come back, but definitely on the side of Metapicks right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do see them rotate probably down here to capture this bot. Boss 16s are online. Leorc is up in 10 seconds. So they should be able to burn this boss pretty quickly enough. But they're going to make some pressure here onto this fort as well.
It looks like they're just looking to take that and take all the initial structures here away from VibeCheque.
Yep, absolutely. Going to go ahead and get that passive XP and looking for that level 20 fight. Misha Bear, going to go ahead and sneak on out of there.
And, we go back to the classic camps are up. We look at, Metapicks looking to go ahead and then claim that bruiser camp there. Well, we see some vision scouting on that boss.
All right, so going to go ahead and check both, but we do see Metapicks rotating, like you said, to this camp. Just taking this thing off cooldown, getting that pressure here in the mid lane. Now looking at a keep. Is this, but in comes Toxic, finds himself stunned, and that's what VibeCheque really needed to do. Out comes the alt pings are going to come out there. We do see the Phoenix, but we do see May jumping in here. Ice Wall does connect onto Leo here. Blue Space Hat is going to burrow charge out of there. Leo should be able to Wraith Walk out of there just fine. And Red Face Beast escaping with 300 health there.
Oh, I was clinching for him, but nicely done. You didn't get that pick on a unsuspecting Rexar, and we look to capitalize now and see. We'll take that camp. We have some death timers getting a little bit longer, so maybe we look at maybe a top or bottom boss for us here.
Yep, so we will have these camps meeting here in the mid. Like, I want to see a boss take here from the side of VibeCheque to get back in this particular game, clear this out, and I think just get on this boss because this fort is down no matter what anyway. So they're going to opt to take the fort, the structure anyhow, try and even back up that. So they will trade fort for fort. So they got the pick, and they lose a fort instead anyway. So I don't know if that's the most optimal trade there for the side of VibeCheque, but you know what? They didn't do any risky play, right? Because we can be talking about this boss all day, but if they do get engaged on and lose that team fight, then we're talking, about a successful boss pushing in towards a keep on their side as well. But they're doing a great job here with this macro pressure. Looking for a second structure of the game.
Yeah, go in and we get that to get the well out of the way right there. No option for them at that point in time for Metapicks to really come down and heal up really quick on a fight on their side for objective. So nicely done by VibeCheque there.
All right, taking a look at talents here. So we do have Leorc speccing into damage reduction build. This is really just trying to deal with that Tychus and that Kael'thas. Let's see what else is going on. Standard builds kind of across the board here from what I can tell. Outside of that, so the channel is underway here for the side of VibeCheque, but in comes the laser, in comes the blizzard, in comes May to jump into the backline. We do see the Wraith Walk going to come out comes the boards to slow down the team. Polymorph is out onto Red Face Beast, does leap in with bullet onto this May, and down she will go. No, I am a liar. She does have the nice wiggles out here in the Z. Coming out onto Kael'thas may have been a misclick there by Lee, but May does live to tell the tale. Does blink heal to keep her up, but May will have to back, so they will have to kind of forego this if they can. No picks, just a lot of trading, some health pools here from both these teams.
Yeah, shocking. Unfortunately, I want to think that was just a misclick. Now, especially with May having to go back, it kind of opens up for VibeCheque to look for another engage here.
Oh my goodness, May stepped up to try and cancel that, but it got immediately blown up by there, but they do opt to trade, just tank for tank here, so no front lines available for either one of these teams. Now, Mega Milk is a little bit low on the Leo, so won't be much of a front line, but we do have Misha Bear going to have some CC to step up here and tank some of this.
Absolutely. And what is the quote, Dax? Not the worst trade deal in the history of all trade deals, I think applies there. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, pretty good. We see again, we're kind of given that now. We don't have a front line on this side of VibeCheque at the moment, but we look and we got that agreement on that camping and hopefully get a little pressure there as we kind of wait for a new bracket to get back up.
Yeah, to your point, I think the only one outside of that was a worse trade was maybe the Louisiana Purchase. But here we go. We're going to see the stall kind of come out here from the side of VibeCheque. And we do see Metapicks just live to fight another day. May is down for another 8 seconds, and they're oh so close to 20. No need to fight here. Just kind of, just delay it. They can play the long game here, but they do need to worry about that camp pushing here in the mid lane. They didn't get theirs yet. They need to defend, but 23 seconds on the board here for the side of VibeCheque.
Yeah, and unfortunately their lanes were just a little too far pushed up, so couldn't really safely step up and kind of capture some of that soak to help them get 20 right away.
All right, and that Ice Wall and that Blizzard is going to just boot them back. That poor Tyrande, and down she goes. But just the living bombs coming out from this Kael'thas, just the positioning and the grouping coming out is just a great job by Kael'thas here. I mean, everybody wants to dive. Everybody is a melee hero into this particular team, so I like that call. But in the fact of that trade there and getting to 20s, they do lose mid-fort.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just a good time for 20s to come on. But yeah, like you said, I think KT right now is kind of the unsung hero, for counter dive, right? Just like you said, pyro bombs going off just everywhere you can see. They keep exploding and spreading and really just, outdoing what Tyrande can heal for the team here. But, as a healer, if you're dead, you really can't heal anyway. So I do like the fact they're really focusing on the Tyrande and catching her in some bad positions at the moment.
Yep, absolutely. And taking a look at the stats here. So, just all living bomb spread, 36k damage coming out from that Kael'thas, but Jaina just pumping out an amazing 47k as well. But do we see an engage here? We do see the full team is going to go ahead and cap that camp. The Blizzard is going to come out here. Mazzino did pog there. Absolutely. Just the combo from that May between that Ice Wall, the Blizzard, and then the icing in to boot back into it. And unfortunately, just Tyrande has no mobility at all whatsoever. So, unfortunately, she was not going anywhere there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at this. I think we're going to see just a good, 5-man push down the middle here. No need to split off. I think really at this point here, another pick potentially, and we're looking at maybe a game-ending objective here.
Absolutely. So here we go. Out comes the Ice Wall. Not going to connect to anybody this time, but we do see the double stun that is going to come out from the Misha. But out comes the Entomb. They do get Tychus picked out there. Out comes the web onto Kael'thas, removing him from this team fight. Out comes the stun from the Anub'arak. Does need to burrow charge out of there, and then that will be a 3-for-1 trade. Only losing the Leoric there, but being able to just stay there and give his life to get the kill. Pants at 35 health does sneak on out of there by the seat of his pants. Every single bit of that pun is intended. Giggle Schmack rotating down here to just hopefully save this keep. Unfortunately, I don't think they will be able to do it. Maybe they will. The Beatles are doing some work here, tanking this bad boy pretty well. Up here in the top lane, they do get a hold on to this keep also. So holding on to all three keeps is VibeCheque here. So still making it absolutely just hard to take care of this objective, but pings are coming out. We will see the first boss pickup of this game. 3 members dead for at least 20 seconds on the side of Metapicks.
Yeah, one of the easiest boss pickups I think I've seen in a while here with Third Phase Feast, able to just go in and just really shred it down without much effort there. So good engagement. Again, I think that was set up by Mega Milk there with the slows on the Leoric and that silence on the Entomb. Just really, really, really well done on their side.
All right, absolutely. So we do have camp pushing here in the mid, and every single one of their keeps can be breathed on. They're not going to opt for the boss play, which I think is... It's tough. That's a tough call here, but this boss will take care of this keep and will be marching on to core. I like this call from the side of Metapicks here. They have the camp pushing there in the mid, and a little slow on that vision coming out from the Tyrande, so they do back as well. So they're looking at losing both of their keeps here, but they may try and look to end this game here. They want to burn through this as well.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's gonna be a little harder for them. I think with their gray main, but we see them backing off. Obviously, they know they're coming, so they'll just kind of take what they can take and even out a little bit. Actually, gain a little bit on structure there as far as fort for just a second until the bottom lane gets pushed in. But a safe play for sure on the side of both VibeCheque and Metapicks. I think on just taking bosses, have a counter boss push, and let it do its thing.
Yep, so they are looking to clear those camps, try and save as much as middle keep as they possibly can. Top wave is pretty pushed out, so they won't lose their top keep. And this particular core is hard to bring down. It's easier with 2 keeps down, but it can be done with 1, depending on death timers here. But making quick work of this boss, and the nice thing about this core is it does heal itself back up. Gray main and Chaina going to go ahead and take this camp here. Metapicks not thinking about the Leo there. Yeah, unfortunately, you always get those surprise entombs. You get the Leo that just Wraith walks in out of a bush somewhere.
But, been on that side of it many a time. So it's never any fun.
Yep. All right, so the channel is going to go ahead and get started here by the side of Metapicks in a great position here to defend this. But we do need to see VibeCheque stepping up in here. This is their last-ditch effort because those riders will take care of all 3 of these keeps and potentially game for the side of Metapicks. So out comes Laser Drill. Going to go ahead and get most of the damage out onto that, but out comes that Silenced Tomb out onto Rexar. Out comes the Phoenix as well. Out comes the Bullet. Blue Space Hat finds himself a little bit low, does burrow charge, but does get taken down. Tychus is living in that Entomb, but steps up to get some damage out onto Red Face Beast. Toxic finds himself in a little bit of trouble. Lampico is going to dash out of there. Mazzino getting some great PO coming out there. Blue Face Beast is carrying that Living Bomb. Out comes the Polymorph. The stun does connect there, but unfortunately down goes Greymane there and spreading the Living Bomb, so we do see that recounter back on to the objective, and no kills that time onto Metapicks there, and 3 going over to VibeCheque there, so we may see GG's here.
What a great way. I think they learned their lesson last time. So you notice they were all spread out on that fight. Really hard for Leo to lock someone in. We got the I don't want to call Rexar a coward here, but definitely feigning sleep there. That's the game. Not a really cool play, man. Not really cool at all.
Did you say coward?
I did say coward. I was hoping to get that emote out there for you, Dax, on your Twitch chat here.
I'll put it there. Unfortunately, it looks like I said, like, you don't get 3. I thought you got 3 at tier 1, but it's not until you get 25 subs. So I do have the coward emote that is stuck at level 2, but once I get enough, I'll move that to the tier 1. But here we go. Lampico finds himself in a little bit of danger. We do see the web wrap coming out onto that. Kael'thas finds himself stuck behind enemy lines, but Mega Milk is getting the trade here. Maybe they stuck around a little too long, but the core is falling at 6,900% health and falling. That Rider will do most of the damage here. Pinks are going to come out, and it's not going to be enough. It will be enough. What a defense coming out from the side of VibeCheque there.
Absolutely. Really, really well done by them. And again, we saw Leo kind of come through slow and really just doing a perfect time and good capitalization on it. So we would like to see that. And, I think we got another few minutes in this match here now, Dax.
Yeah, absolutely. They took 3 kills on that particular channel, and it just came right back in and gave 3 more kills in favor of, actually, both teams, both tied at 11 kills. But structure-wise, we are at one keep and 1 fort, essentially, on the side of Metapicks here. The middle fort is at, I don't even see a color. I am colorblind, but I don't see any health on that particular fort here. It is sitting at 24. 24 health.
Man, just a sneeze by anyone really takes that out there.
But here we go. We do see the members of VibeCheque. Danger Pinks are coming out. They want to take this down. All members are up. But Blue Space Hat might find himself in a little bit of trouble. Does dodge that May wall. Out comes the Gravity Lapse, not able to connect there as well. But nice wiggles there by Blue Space Hat.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really well done. Just take that mid 4 down. Really, again, equalizing it out a little bit. A little bit of advantage still for Metapicks just because they have that bottom fort in the way of the keep there as well. So, but maybe looking at another boss play top. We see everyone heading bottom there. Maybe a counter boss play, Dax. What do you think?
Yeah, a 1-for-1 with the base race, but on the side of Metapicks, this is a winning trade for them. I mean, the boss is up in 5 seconds. It's tough. I mean, They could forego this particular one. I would have fought them probably over top, but I mean, both these bosses are going to go ahead and just storm this keep. But we do see the side of VibeCheque backing off. They are foregoing this camp. I don't know what they're doing, looking to maybe get the engage, but this boss rip is just way too quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see bottom's getting pushed in too. We see red really low, and I think unfortunately just a bit of a misplay there. Not really worrying about bottom boss. They knew they were there, and you know, I don't know what we see from VibeCheque to really defend this.
They are all
powerful boss in 26 minutes.
GiggleShrek needs to be careful, finds himself a little bit out of position. Out comes the Ice Wall, but in comes the Silence Entomb. 3 members getting caught inside that Entomb. The GiggleShrek does pop that Ice Wall. Out comes the Phoenix as well. The boss is walking up in here. GiggleShrek is awfully though, does go down. Jaxman running away. Stasis is going to come out. Feign Death coming out from Toxic, but down they go, and Pico finds himself in a little bit of trouble here, but will escape to tell a tale. 3 picks to 2 in favor of VibeCheque, but this boss is awfully healthy. The core is falling, and I don't know if it will be enough, and I think this will be GG's endgame 1 going over to Metapicks.
Absolutely. I think they recognize there just the stall wins this for them, right? Not letting VibeCheque get back there, so they'll take the deaths, kind of eat it in the stats. But you know, a smart play by Metapicks to really go up 1 game here.
What a match. That was a really back and forth, really exciting set of team fights there. And then, like you said, with I thought, you know, they could have defended, right? Because both bosses were going to be walking onto the core. It's just that you know, Metapick had the little bit of armor left in that last heap in the bot lane there. So I think they realized that they knew they had to back up and defend, but that's tough. And you know, we're head to game 2 here. But just taking a look at these stats, what do you like there?
Yeah, obviously, I think the big one for me looking at this is really just the level of healing, right? Toronto only healing 38,000, up to Brightwing healing almost 98,000 hero damage, which is just, it's a huge disparity between Toronto and Brightwing, and I think that kind of showed there with Brightwing being able to kind of heal people up and really even at slow, there's that massive burst heal off from Brightwing that really allowed people to kind of just live through a lot of the dive.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have necessarily those long drawn-out fights when you have like the pick blow-up dive comp coming out from VibeCheque there. You know, you look to just get an advantage and go on. But just fantastic job from both these teams, really putting on a show here. Just Jaina just doing an astronomical amount of damage there, like over 200,000 siege damage and 87,000 hero damage there. It's just crazy amount of soak from this team. As well, but just unfortunately, the team fight kind of played out the way it did, and game 1 went over to Metapicks.
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely good games from both teams, and it really just came down to, I think, a little bit there on a misplay by VibeCheque right at the end to allow them to take bottom boss, and that was at that point 26 minutes in. That's kind of all she wrote.
All right, so we're going to take a look at some talents here. Just pretty across the board, standard stuff, I think, for both these teams. We did have the damage reduction coming out from the Leoric. And to your point earlier, Phoenix, I think, is the less memey ult. But into those dive situations in that May Ice Wall, I just think it set up a lot of damage with that Kael'thas.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I will. I'm enjoying that. Yeah, it was nice to see that good coordination, really just kind of patience on waiting for that ice wall to hit a couple players and just dumping everything upon that. So well done on those combos.
All right, absolutely. So let's jump back here to us as we look for game number 2 as the lobby gets set up here. Let me update all the stuff. All right. So taking a look here. So it looks like we're heading to a Volskaya Foundry. Looks like Metapicks picked this map. It's just talking about just the dramatic turn of events there in game 1 here in the chat. These teams are having a fantastic time, just putting a show on for everybody. But VibeCheque opting for first pick here. So Matt pick went over to Metapicks and opted to take us to Volskaya Foundry here. What do you like to see?
Yeah, again, same thing. A very good objective based map. We get the Trick Log Protector out there doing some major damage out there, really showing off those advanced robotics we see. But another good map where there's a lot of macro play that happens inside here on taking turrets, taking the bruiser type camp up on each side, and also the heal camp comes into play on this one. I think the only map that has a heal camp in the game here. So really fun to see some of the play around that here. So I suspect this could be a thing, but again, lots of objectives, lots of brawling with the teams here. So we'll see how this goes.
Absolutely. So we're wasting no time getting into this draft here, into game number 2. So any target bans coming out here in game 2? These bans, do they change at all?
I don't think so. I think again, I don't know if Metapicks plays Stukop, but Stukop right now is just in such a good place. A really, really good ban on their side. To get that out of there, and Sonya as well coming right out also. So we're just zipping right along these bans here, Dax.
Yep, absolutely. They do not want to see these heroes that they play. We do see the Hanzo ban again. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4 bans, all similar, rotating into this one. Let's see if we see a Sylvanas game here. I love Sylvanas up at this particular map. Can get a ton of value on this point with with Merc Queen with those turrets, providing extra damage with those puppies. But no, the Orphea not going to go this time. We do see the Orphea first picked by Giggleshmek here.
Absolutely, a good pickup. Orphea, good place here. We'll see if they commit back to more of a maybe perhaps a dive comp again as well, a single target blow up. But Orphea really strong at just chasing the unsuspecting slow mage, maybe a Kael'thas or even a Brightwing down pretty quickly and without much work.
Okay, so we do see Lee Dragoon going to go ahead and take that Brightwing. Did a fantastic job in game number 1. Must be a comfort pick for him, but he balled out on that particular pick. And Pants going to opt for the Cassia this time. Now Zul'jin is still up and available. Not sure if you want to take the Zul'jin into the Cassia, but Zul'jin can get stacks off of the Trig Log Protector. But we do have the Deckard going to go ahead and picked up Stay a While and Listens. Great sustain healing on the point. Can get those potions put down. So here we go. We will have the Mosh Pit, Stay a While and Listen combo, probably into an Eternal Feast as well. Do we get to see the Dirty Bathtub combo?
Oh, yeah, Dax, you know me, and I think you as well. We always hope to see this. So, no, I think it's definitely some good plays. Maybe a little less dive heavy at the moment here, but with ETC, able to really just abuse anyone that steps, a little too far forward, the quick slide in, and, and unless you got, and I guess we're not going to see anyone with the Yeet of Faith, so really kind of hard to get out if you get kind of isolated by that ETC slide.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do see the ban onto, is it Mega Milk's Kerrigan? I can't remember if it was Red Face Beast or Mega Milk that played the Kerrigan, but really good Kerrigan player on that side. So target ban, and then May. I like that ban coming out from the side of Metapicks. I'm sorry, not Metapicks, but VibeCheque there. That May's Ice Walls and dives were really, really detrimental, I think. So to take that away, we're going to opt to have Mazzino flex onto something else. Johanna is still available, can provide extra blinds for that Cassia. Yep.
Yeah, up. Dax the Prophet, here you are, my friend. Nicely called here. And the Kael'thas again. I think that's actually a really good play there. The way, kind of they say that style on going a little bit dive, we'll see that pays off. But Kael'thas was, he was really, really oppressive with just really throwing out the living strikes on anyone you absolutely could. And we saw those spread and just inflict just so much damage around the dive there. So I think that's a good comfort and kind of a smart pickup by the Metapicks.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's 3 Mosh Pit stuns coming out from the side of Metapicks. So, or actually 4 if Cassie goes Valkyrie. But Redface Beast going to lock in that Greymane again. And then we do see Mega Milk going ahead and lock in this Deathwing this time. So just really good at just being a big body on these points, as well as cataclysming and providing such an immense amount of zone control. But Toxic is going to lock in that Leoric for some % base damage to try and bully that Deathwing here.
Well, absolutely. And Kael'thas, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he'll 7 if they go the 2 or more into his I don't know how to Kael'thas play, so I apologize. I think it's the Flame Strike, right? We get an 8% damage as well upon that.
I believe so, and it should be pretty easy to hit those particular skill shots on a Deathwing, being such a huge body.
Absolutely. So, yeah. So I guess Dax, over to your side. I talked a lot first game on who we thought had the better draft here. So, what are your opinions on draft here?
All right, so taking a look here at this particular team comp, I like the wave clear coming out from the side of from Metapicks. They will be able to, I think, get the rotational advantage onto VibeCheque. I mean, Orphea has semi-decent wave clear, but is really cooldown dependent, unlike Johanna and Kael'thas, who kind of just step up, do their thing, and just rotate onto the next lane. But, Deathwing is he can just kind of ignore all forms of CC. He can fly in, he can do his thing. But we do see Pants on that Kael'thas again, and maybe we'll see a Pyroblast game this time.
Yeah, fingers crossed here.
All right, so we do see this quick pause. Good luck, have fun coming out here. So while we have this quick pause, I will announce these teams. So we, on the left-hand side, looking to win this in a 2-0 fashion is Metapicks. Toxic is on that Leo. Mazzino is on that Johanna. Lee Dragoon back on that Brightwing. Lampico on one of my favorite heroes is that Cassia. And Pants back on that Kael'thas. And what about the red side?
Absolutely. We got Mega Milk on the Deathwing. We got Jax Tamac and Jax Taxman. Ooh,
That's
tongue twister here on the Deckard. Red Face Beast back on Greymane. Giggle Smack on your gal Orphea. And then Blue Space Hat busting out the Rocking Cow, or the Mariachi Cow this time with ETC.
All right, and they are riding those soap bars into battle here. I love teams that synergize with their mounts and so on and so forth. We see Decker going to go ahead and throw out the Capri Suns a little early, get some healing potions out. That way the team knows where they're at, and you can't really blame Decker if the potions are out and you just don't walk over them. That's your own fault.
Absolutely.
Sorry, thanks for that call there, Brown Bala. We did get that pause there, so I didn't want to swap back to us. So, not missing a whole heck of a lot, just making quick work of that lane. Actually was the side of Metapicks. Just like I said, just that rotational advantage. We're going to see Johanna going to go ahead and just slow the rotation out there. Don't even see that here down here in that this low level of play. So just great job by Mazzino there.
Yeah, absolutely. So get up there, so we see the stun, the lock-in with the Deckard, and perhaps Johanna going down here. Absolutely, we see that.
Absolutely. Did step out there a little too far. We do see Blue Space Hat walking around with that living bomb, but we do see Greymane is going to go ahead and start this fortification camp. I like this call here. You usually want to pick this up almost immediately. That way, coming 1 minute into the objective, you can have the opportunity to have 2 turrets and does about an extra 1.5 assassins worth of damage on this point.
Yeah, really good. We saw a little bit of XP there missed on the side of Metapicks there when they went back up top to rotate, but perhaps an invade coming in here.
Yeah, I definitely like this invade. We do see the Dragoon going to go ahead and get caught out there. Pants will probably step away there, but with this Deathwing going to be able to just hold the fort down. So we will see this successful invade. VibeCheque isn't done. They're not, putting their tail between their legs and walking away. They're going to come out here swinging and just try and put one right back in the mouth of Metapicks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they have the comp built for that, right? They have a really, really good kind of I don't want to say a hybrid, but a little pop, but definitely a different style than they played last time with ETC versus the Anubrak. So I do like to see this aggressive play and aggressive rotations here.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull up these talents here. So we do see Cassia opting for the Q quest at level 1. Seems to be the way to go anymore with Cassia. I prefer charge strikes myself. Mazzino is going to go ahead and throw that flashlight, trying to create some vision of the team. We do see some casual auto attacks onto this, the heal camp there, but all right, so the wave is going to get just immediately destroyed coming out from the side of Metapicks here. I absolutely love their wave clear. They do opt to rotate over onto their bruiser camp here. Blue Space Hat providing the great vision for the team as they opt to go ahead and grab this biotic emitter.
Yeah, I do like to see that here as well. Again, just using the Deathwing really well. A nice big body there to kind of help keep people from moving in. So good job on VibeCheque there.
Absolutely. So I expect maybe a little bit of channeling to go over onto the side of VibeCheque here. Sevens are awfully close, but no toys available for the side of Metapicks because they did get the invade on their turret. They have the heal camp as well, and if they don't use it here within like 30 seconds, they will have a third turret.
Yep, absolutely. The name of the game right on those objectives is who's got the toy control there between all the turrets and the healing. And right now, we're seeing VibeCheque just really make good work of that.
All right, so VibeCheque was up here just minding their own business, clearing up this camp, but the team comes up here from the side of Metapicks as a 4 squad. Pings are going to come out, so they're going to make some quick work. They realize they have some time to channel this. They are going to get some damage done with this camp, but in comes Mega Milk is going to get that Q build rolling here.
On the backside flank here, we look at this. Cassia, Kael'thas goes down.
Unfortunately, no wiggle room there by that Kael'thas. Great pick coming out from that Deathwing. There's nobody. They just halted all of the channel points there. So they just rotated everybody up. They do have 63%. Decker does hop on this thing to get it rolling here. Seven's now online on the side of Metapicks.
And really good job. I like the aggression that we're seeing from VibeCheque. Like you said, they're not taking that first loss line down. They're kind of back to playing the game, playing their way. And right now, they're really just doing a good job of just kind of making short work of some small positional mistakes on the side of Metapicks.
Yep, absolutely. So as we step up here, so I think they'll have an easier time with the Deathwing up until level 16s. I think come 16 in the later game, I think is when we will see the shift here. But the momentum in the early game here is in favor of VibeCheque.
Absolutely.
So setting their sights onto this top fountain as we do.
Absolutely, they've been reading the books and seeing how to play this map. But yeah, most likely a lot of the trickle out work. The first two of them are just kind of setting up for the next objective, right? And so getting that heal camp or the well out of the way is a really easy way to get a little bit of an advantage on the next objective fight.
Absolutely. So 10's just about online. Metapicks needs to be careful here. They do lose Triglov, but getting half the fort with it, so they do have all the toys here as well. So in comes the Cataclysm. Red Face Beast is going to jump in, but Blue Blaze out, taking all of the tower damage will go down here. The healing from Deckard and the heal camp is just not enough, so they do trade Deathwing for 1 kill and a fort. Worth is what they say.
Yeah, nice recognition on the side of VibeCheque there. They had 10s going into it. They knew that they had most of that down, so a small death there from ETC, but a nice trade out to kind of take that the top keep or top fort rather there right away on that first objective, which is a huge win for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, they did lose ETC, but it did cost them 3 turrets and a heal camp, but they just recaptured that heal camp. So well on their way to getting their toys back there. So Metapicks now 10's online. We do see the Bless Shield, we do see the Entomb, and we do see the Ball Lightning. So a lot of burst damage is going to be able to come out of here on the side of Metapicks.
Yeah, nice job by Leo, though. Seeing that he come down, he knew it was coming and was able just to E out and Wraith block back to the safety of his wall.
All right, and they're just making quick work. They already set up, but out comes a beautiful Entomb. Out comes the Stay Wildless and connected onto 4 members.
And the
mosh pit on top of that. All of the R buttons are getting pushed here underneath this fort. Red Face Beast does go in to secure the kill, but unfortunately, he does not get that kill, and he actually loses his life for that as well. Great defense there by the side of Metapicks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just unfortunate he went a little too, kind of attack the wrong target there and kind of a weird interaction, leap over the wall and try to get that Leo. But just, the tower said, no, not my guy, and really stuck it to him there.
Yep, absolutely. So I like this late gameplay coming out from the side of Metapicks here, understanding that Volskaya is a late game map, and they're playing, for the late game here with this late game team comp. The Silenced Entomb buried alive at level 20. That's the only CC that can really catch Deathwing, essentially outside of a zombie wall, is going to be that Entomb. So when he can't even, use his ultimate to get out of that thing, I think they're in for a long game here come level 20.
Yeah, and are you surprised by the mosh pit pickup there, Dax? I know we talked about there's so much CC that we have on the side of Metapicks where, if they hit just one thing, it ruins a fairly large cooldown of an ult there. So what are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, that's tough. I think they have the Wombo combo there, and I think they just want to use it that mosh pit with the Deathwing. I think they have an idea what they want in these team fights, but this ETC is going to have to hit everybody, outside of maybe Cassia and Leoric.
Yeah, an interesting choice here. We see a counter fort race here with the trade for top and bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like this call here from the side of VibeCheque here to trade this fort. So both these teams in a great position here for the late game. But we do see Metapicks going to go ahead and just even the score up here in the top lane now. They don't have 13s. VibeCheque, it will be here shortly. So pings are going to come out looking for that counter flank, trying to get as much of the channel as possible. But they do find themselves surrounded now.
Out there.
But out comes that Wombo combo, is going to just catch the Cassia and the Brightwing, and down they go. Stay a while and listen is going to come out, but Ping's coming out onto Jackspin. Deckard finds himself awfully low, but the rest of the team is going to go ahead and stand on that point.
Yeah, and just good recognition. I think we saw a couple things there, right? The power of the Greymane sieging up down bottom there. They were able to rip that real quick, make a way up there versus, Metapicks, who don't really quite have all that siege damage to outrace them. So we still see top there and no retreat there, and just a bit of a slow retreat by Cassie and Brightwing. Unfortunately, they got caught out, and we see the effects of that.
Yep, absolutely. So Deckard up here just doing the work of the Lord, just holding the fort down, throwing those tall boys out onto the point, those tall Capri Suns.
Absolutely. No, that's great. Yeah, so no, I think we're seeing VibeCheque right now just really, really, they're just really owning this map. I don't know a better way to say it, but they're controlling everything they want to control. They're getting the fights they want to get, and really just getting every pick that and punishing Metapicks for it.
Yep, absolutely. And I like their placement into these this Triglav, Orphea, and Deathwing both not having the greatest siege damage. And then keeping Greymane up to get some work done here, as well as keeping the tank and the healer alive to keep the pressure off of this Greymane. But out comes Stay Wireless and connecting the two members of Metapicks. In comes the slide. The boop is going to come back, but in comes the damage on from the Red-Faced Beast, but does not seal the deal on that kill. And Blue Space Hat going to catch all of that Living Bomb spread there, as well as that Phoenix. But the Triglav at half health, starting to work on this top keep. No picks quite yet, but we do see Leoric doing Leoric things, going ahead and just cheesing this mid fountain. So no fountain for you there mid.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we see VibeCheque. They played aggressive here. I think we're to see the top keep go down here. If they look to stay in here, which, to me, that's the play they make. They have the wave right there. I know turrets there. I think they look to try to force this a little bit.
But I do like the play here from the Leoric, catching Soak, trying to get 16s on for the team. They will most likely lose this top keep here, but two members of VibeCheque in that Triglav still puts you at an advantage by sending Leo to continue that Soak. So nice job. And just Deathwing being able to hold his breath for an absolute eternity, and the poke coming out from that Orphea as well. But Mazzino does step up to try and condemn them. Deckard does connect, but no follow-up damage here as well. But in comes the Mosh Pit underneath the tower. Out comes all of the damage. Only Blue Space Hat underneath that, eating all of the tower damage. Out comes the Pyroblast. Out comes the great defense coming out from the side of Metapicks. And great job. They do hold on to their keep.
Yeah, absolutely. ETC tried storming that guitar, and they weren't having any of that dance party right there. So well done. Good use of the Blessed Shield that can really kind of counteract that. And, a good hold by Metapicks here.
All right, absolutely. So they are going to try and invade here. They do not have the mosh pit. Down drops Deathwing. Stay a while and listen to comes out. Does not connect with anyone, and we do see them back away. 16's now online for the side of Metapicks. But they did have Leo going to go ahead and steal the turret. So I like that call coming out from VibeCheque. Like, okay, you're going to steal our turret when we're trying to take your keep? We're going to come right down here and take yours right from under your nose. So great call there by VibeCheque.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I like to really kind of flex their muscle on that level 16, even though we saw that hit for Metapicks right at the end there. Just it's hard to fight in that small of a space with the Deathwing and down Talon. So good forceful and good aggressive play on the side of VibeCheque.
Yeah, absolutely. So, taking a look at the talents at level 7, you were right. Burn Flash, 8% of the maximum damage going out onto that Deathwing. And
Yeah,
then
we like
Leorc
that.
doing the percent base damage with that. And I said, I think once come level 20, if they can get that far with that Silence and Tomb, I think it's just what we're playing for here for the side of Metapicks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, Deckard kind of going more of that old school Ruby build here. I do like to see that, but really kind of having to play up close now with safety by numbers being not necessarily the best talent at 16 for him, but you know, right now it's paying off. He's kind of staying around. They're doing a good job kind of guarding him through some of this. So we're looking for his little skirmish here. ETC gets stopped. Deathwing breathing on people. We see a lot of ults coming out here, Dax. Hard to kind of keep track of.
Nope, absolutely do see the Mosh Pit going to come out. Out comes the Condemn, but in comes the Deathwing. Down goes Brightwing. Down goes Johanna. Toxic is trying to live in the back lane here, opting to get some damage. Toxic does go down, loses their life for this. Mega Milk is the chase is on for Lumpico, but the pings are going to come out, and 3 members down. They want to take this and maybe try and end here. I'm not sure. We may look to go to a game number 3 here.
Yeah, I think we're going for it. I like this aggressive call here. Deathwing flying, using Cataclysm, kind of hitting right at the edge there of the keep and Greymake. If he could just see John, they can check for it. I think we look to see a game 3 come out here from VibeCheque.
Absolutely. So Blue Space Hat is eating all of this damage. Will escape with 300 health. The Deathwing is awfully low as well. Great defense. This game is not over yet. Down goes the Deathwing, and I think we can make something good happen here. Pants is trying to mount up and step up here as well. Jaxman does have some wiggles. The Root is going to come out there, but Toxic is going to catch the Entomb there. But in comes the Bullet and the Greymane onto Redface Beast, and does sneak out there as well. Blue Space Hat does live to tell the tale. Down goes Greymane in the back, Blue Space Hat, and here we go. That reversal, a 3-for-0 trade in favor of Metapicks. Well done.
Done. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, Dex, we're seeing a lot of good action here at the end with 2 team fights in the past 2 minutes. So, you know, I really like, I think you're right, level 16 coming online here for Metapicks, and I think they're starting to see a little bit of a advantage with the kind of the composition they're looking for here.
Yep, absolutely. I want to see them try and push out. They're going to push out mid lane here, but I'd like to see them force bot lane a little bit, considering that's where the next objective is, and just put some pressure in the opposite lane of where VibeCheque's win condition is. So we do see Leo trying to prep this lane there a little bit. Will opt for their own turret camp. We do see them invading the turret camp for the side of VibeCheque as well.
All right, and about even on experience right now. So, you know, if we're looking for anything, I think we maybe see a little bit of advantage on the side of VibeCheque. Maybe look for 20s really quick, soak that, and look for a good fight here down on this last objective.
Absolutely. So what I'd like to see out of VibeCheque here is maybe forego the Striglov Protector and then try and base race. I think that's maybe the call. Just try and keep top pushed out as far as possible. Maybe when Metapicks goes ahead and steps and puts 2 members of the team into this, and then just try and maybe base race.
Fortunately, I think the play here on Metapicks is leave Brightwing, let her teleport in instead of kind of letting this go here. But we look at maybe a little mid skirmish happening here.
All right, so we do see VibeCheque looking for those 20s, but both teams will have 20s right here. And right now we do see the, is it the invisibility? Nope, just permanent movement speed on a Speedy Dragon there. So they will opt. They do have to tend to the top lane here, since this entire giant wave will march out onto the core. 46% of this channel is here. So VibeCheque starting their own. They are going to go ahead and probably grab heal camp here as well.
Yeah, I think that's a smart play. Get as much as you can here. We see Deathwing staying bottom, kind of using a little bit of a global presence. Sitting like a kitty there. But yeah, well, I think we might see a nice little fight over the heal camps here coming in.
All right, out comes Blood Shield. Is going to connect onto 3 members, but out comes that Silence and Tomb. The Polymorph out onto that ETC is still silenced. He does slide on his way out of there, but does hit that Mosh Pit, not connecting to anybody. Lee Dragoon is going to step forward into this team fight. Great positioning by Lee there. They do take down that Orphea. The chase is on here for Blue Space Hat. He is not done yet. Out comes the damage, but nothing is going to get stealed there. So we do see a great pick onto that Orphea there by the side of Metapicks, and they will get this heal camp as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great healing coming out there from Brightwing. It kind of looked like we were going to get a bit of a few kills from VibeCheque towards Metapicks, but they were able to live through that and really turn it around and get a nice kill on that Orphea there. So well done.
All right, absolutely. So Orphea is down for another 30 seconds, so she will make it here, probably in time for maybe a 99% stall. We may have to see Deathwing stand on this particular point to at least warrant some sort of defense here. But you know what? All 3 keeps are still in place for VibeCheque. They may just opt to just let this one ride, defend, and maybe fight another day. But they are pressuring here in this particular particular mid lane. Deckard is going to go back. Deathwing is hovering down here. So let's see what Metapicks does here. I like the point. You can just leave Lee on this, but we do see the Triglav going over in favor of Metapicks.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there. Lost a few seconds on trying to figure out who was going to hop in there and start walking this guy up here. But we see Cassia hop in right now, and we see 4 members of Metapicks kind of hanging out and waiting to see what happens here.
Absolutely. We could see the final team fight of the series here as they march down. We got a raid coming in. Hello, Nexus Gaming Series. Hopefully the games were fantastic. We are marching down here in Game 2 of this series here. Only Cassie in the Triglav. Leo is going to jump in here. The root going to come out onto Pants. And Deathwing just doing a great job with just providing the damage out onto this Triglav Protector, but the keep goes down. Not much health. I think he just forego. You hop out of this thing, and we do see Toxic is going to hop out of that. Cassie is marching away, but we need to watch for the reversal here with that Silence and Tomb.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, I think that's a smart play there. They got done when they need to get done in the bottom lane there, get a little bit of a pressure relief from top lane versus bottom lane. So, yeah, good usage of that, and we're going to kind of walk around here a little bit and see what we can do.
Absolutely. So the top lane does need to see some care here from Leoric. But you know what, Cassian just doing some spinning, doing some dance. 25 seconds left in this Triglav Protector, but VibeCheque is not done. They want a piece of this middle fort here. They want to take this thing down as quickly as possible, but Leo is going to rotate in here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we kind of can see the stalling out here a little bit. You know, at this point, I think I'm kind of interested why they opting not to leave the Triglav there. And now we see Leo come out, but wasn't doing a whole lot. Just kind of sitting around doing really nothing with the Triglav there. So not the worst play in the world, but you kind of wonder if they would have just dropped it and let it sit there for a little bit, maybe done a few other things on the map.
Yep, absolutely. So here we go. You want to see, we'll try and get the invade here. Let's see what's going to happen. Curious that they're doing this. Mega Milk is a little bit low. In comes the mosh pit. Pings are going to come out. Out comes Stay a While and Listen. Out comes the Ball Lightning, but great Entomb there is going to separate the rest of the team. But down goes Brightwing. Blue Space Hat with a teleport back into the backline, back on the safety. But Mega Milk is awfully low there as well. They do lose Brightwing, but unfortunately they do not get the turret. So not a successful engage, but they do get that pick and do have man advantage here for the next 48 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just a small amount, maybe a little misplay between Leo and Johanna there on using Blessed Shield versus the Entomb there. It looked like they might have been able to secure a kill on ETC had they kind of coordinated or maybe worked a little bit more in conjunction on that. But still, you know, it's a late death at this point in time, a kind of big timer. So I think that kind of maybe goes to VibeCheque on that little engage there.
All right, I think so, but we do see Metapicks going to go ahead and grab their Bruiser Camp, going to go ahead and push the lane, and VibeCheque is not done with this mid fort. Every time they get a spare opportunity, they just start trying to wail away on this mid fort here. We do see Red Face Beast going to go ahead and grab the turret camp for their team respectfully as they clear up the bot lane here. So both these teams have a win condition opened up for this next team fight. So we're probably going to see a lot of patience coming out from both of these teams, not necessarily looking to take a team fight, just in, you know, the rare chance that they happen to lose this. But I like this invade call coming out. We do see just Deathwing trying to provide vision, throwing down those Skyfalls, but great invade from Metapicks here to keep that pressure up here in the top lane.
Yeah, I like that. They recognized that we had 2 people bottom between Deckard and Grammy, no one with the global there. So why not, you know, make either force Deathwing to come down or steal the camp? I thought it was a really good play on their side there to kind of help top get a little pressure relieved.
All right, so let's see what they do. They are going to rotate down here. It looks like they're going to continue to pressure this bot lane, push it out here a little bit, and it looks like VibeCheque is kind of playing the ring around the rosy here. They're just looking to respond to whatever Metapicks wants to do, but it looks like they want to try and catch them in rotation, let ETC rotate here, and maybe jump on Deckard here.
I like the position right now. I think you got to be a little bit careful if you're VibeCheque. We don't show anyone. I like the position of Leo and Johanna. They're really looking for a single target, maybe a bad rotation here, but it's getting a little dicey in the mid and hopefully a little spicy fight coming up here.
All right, so pings into those 2 bushes are coming out. No one is there any longer, but you know, great job. Great heads up play from VibeCheque there, just making sure aware and not face checking any bushes.
Power routed to the terminal. Control it, and you can pilot the protector.
All right, so we have the old Wild West standoff here from both these teams. Just putting their dipping their big toe here on to the channel point. But we will start the channel here from the side of VibeCheque. We do have Deathwing up in the air, throwing down some Skyfalls, just trying to get some vision and maybe some damage. But in comes the Deathwing. Will not be able to use any abilities for 12 seconds. Out comes the Stay a While and Listen. Out comes the Mosh Pit. And then out comes the Stay a While and Listen. Gigglesmack is awfully low as well. Does get the heal top off, but it's not going to be enough. Mazzino finds himself low and he does need to step back. Deathwing living in the backline. Blue Space Hat does slide in, connecting onto two members of Metapicks. Lampico is low and does go down. And that will be a absolute team wipe for VibeCheque here, and they march top and and they are taking us to a game 3.
Absolutely good fight there. I think with that, ECC was patient waiting for that mosh pit, and just a good collection between that and Deathwing just breathing out as much damage as he possibly can there. So well done on that last engage there. And you're right, game 3 is coming up. Everyone loves to see a good 3-match series here. So I'm excited for this, Dax.
Yep, absolutely. A good old-fashioned barn burner here. And yeah, that mosh pit, that was the combo that they were looking for. We have Deathwing looking at Q build there, and just within that mosh pit. So just being able to blink, that blink mosh pit is just absolutely detrimental, because you're waiting for the slide, and then he just all of a sudden, ETC just teleports behind you, and the next thing you know, you're stuck in that mosh pit.
Absolutely. Dance party for days there.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and take a look at the stats while I get everything updated. Well, I mean, what looks good to you on this particular stats screen?
I gotta say, I think Deathwing, taking both siege, damage here, and also hero damage. A little bit surprising considering we have Greyman and Orphea, but he was able to sit there and breathe back into the Q build, and it was just a really, really good job. They didn't seem like they have a huge answer for what Deathwing is able to do and force some things on the side of VibeCheque. So I think that's kind of my star player of this game, Dex.
Yeah, absolutely. There, Deathwing not having the greatest siege, but has decent wave clear with that Q, and we did see that come into play there. But Toxic gonna go ahead and just take the soaking game of 20k soak there to 17 from that Greymane. So not even Deathwing keeping up in that soak there. Close enough, for the team, but just 3k from each side there is a little low. Jumping over to talents here. Anything stand out to you? We do have Cassia on that Q build, standard build coming out from Leoric here as well as Kael'thas, but a little different of a Q build. Variants coming out here from Orphea. Usually you see Q here, but Ancestral, I like trait at 1 and 4 myself, but Allegrisimo did see that buff last time she did get touched, so I don't mind that pick there as well.
Yeah, I think for me right now, I'm looking at the Brightwings build here, and I'm intrigued by the critical mist. I know we're hoping to get a little bit more healing out, but I just think some of that the shielding might have been just a little bit enough there on the teleport in to really, I think, maybe turn the tide a little bit there. So it's been interesting. I get the combination of trying to reduce cooldowns and use her pseudo cleanse as much as possible in the AOE style, but yeah, that's the one that's looking a bit surprising for me here, but everyone else, appears to be a pretty standard build we have going on.
Absolutely. All right, so let's jump out of here. Let's jump back to our lovely faces as we try and get this lobby set up. Yeah, game 3. So the ball is over in Metapicks' court here. I mean, staring at a game 3. I mean, with what we've seen in game 1 and game 2, would you opt for a particular map? Maybe that you're comfortable with, or maybe there's maybe taking that first pick.
Yeah, I tend to think that map pick is huge here. So if it were me, I think I'd want to take them to a map where I know I'm comfortable and have a few different comp strategies, though. Hopefully force a few things and see if you can't make them play to your style of play rather than forcing and adjusting to what the other team wants to do. So I think we look for perhaps a map pick if it were me.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that call. So I'm gonna everyone that came in from the NGS raid. Okay, so my thought process here is a little different, but you know what? For what they picked here, but let's see who picked it though at least. But we did have. Let's see here. All right, there we go. So Metapicks opted to ban Braxis Holdout and BOE, and then VibeCheque opted to ban Infernal Shrines and Dragonshire. Game number 1, we went to Alternate Pass picked by, Metapicks, which is more of a macro style, larger style map. And then they took us to Volskaya, which had 3 lanes, but a team file style map. But let's see, let's just get this updated here for everyone. So we are heading to Towers of Doom, and it was picked by VibeCheque here. So Metapicks had the ball in their court, opted for that first pick, and we're going to Towers of Doom.
Great. Again, another very depending on how you play this, very fight heavy map. You look for a good 4-man control the bottom here and get a double soaker. It's definitely a harder one to go against if you have some good dive comp action, which I think we've seen that from VibeCheque. You're really just knowing how to play a good 4-man together. So I'm excited to see how Metapicks will respond to this if they play a more macro style and see what they can do.
All right, so I'll let them know that we are ready here. But yeah, to your point, so like we normally see the dive style or the pick style comp coming out from VibeCheque, which this particular match lends itself to do so, right? So most of your wave clear needs to be on your off laner, because they'll want to do the double soak style game, and you can run like a pick style comp. So we can see maybe like a Taunt Varian coming out here. We might see the resurrection of that Anubarak like we saw in game number 1. Do they let Kerrigan through? We'll find out as we head into the draft here.
Yeah, absolutely. If it were me, I think that Orphea was just such a dangerous combination. I wonder if we don't look to maybe ban out both a Kerrigan and a Orphea here right away.
All right, so sticking with what's true so far, we do see that Hanzo ban coming out. There you go. Good call there on that Orphea ban, making Giggleshmek play something else in game number 3 here. And let's see if they follow up here with maybe a different target ban of their own.
Absolutely. Dax, it's coming for you, man. I've watched you do this a few times, so I want to pretend I'm learning a few things at least on how to read teams and what to look at banning here. So, and the Maiev ban, all right. So no dirty Maiev Warden's Cage combinations out here available for Metapicks.
Yep, absolutely. And so there we go. We do see Toxic going to go ahead and grab that Sonya. Sonya is a solid first pick here. Not many hard counters. In the solo lane can double soak with the best of them. Maybe looking at a URL to hammer her out of the spins. But, I mean, again, if you're just trying to double soak for the team, you don't necessarily worry about trading in lane as you do just rotating and catching that soak. So picks 1 and 2 about to come out for VibeCheque. Again, I expect probably the Anubarak here. And I've been wrong before, but we do opt for them to go a Garrosh build here. Not build, but a Garrosh comp with the Rainer.
Yeah, absolutely. It opens up a lot of possibilities here. Maybe we see a Zarya Malfurion coming out here, really kind of lending itself to a speed boost, and then a Malf with the rework, a really solid level 1 now to kind of let them stay and sleep with that. So it'd be interesting to see how they play this with Garrosh.
All right, so Mazzino going to go ahead and take the ETC away this time. And then Lee Dragoon going to go ahead and play Brightwing for the 3rd time. Must love that hero to play it 3 times in a row. But Brightwing, really good, can teleport, can be that global, can get the huge burst heal off when it needed, and then just great CC. So she will be able to polymorph that Garrosh when he goes to step up. But the Tychus ban is going to come out here for the side of VibeCheque, which I don't hate it, into that Garrosh, but out comes that Kerrigan ban as well.
Right, so that's definitely good on that side. And again, with the Tychus ban, just a huge counter to any tank, really. So Garrosh having to walk up through and really kind of make his presence known. If you miss a Tychus throw or any sort of lockdown, it's going to be hard for Garrosh to survive with that Tychus out there. So I like that ban.
All right, so 3 and 4 picks coming out from the side of VibeCheque here. Need a mage, need a healer. They can choose the offlane knowing that Sonya is already selected. But nope, they a little bit of the same variation, but just opting for a Garrosh this time instead of the Anubarak.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the Tronda here as well. Again, just a simple, point and stun, or click and stun rather, with the Garrosh combination on that. They've worked on this together. That's a pretty easy combination to hit. So I'm excited to see that and pull a Greymane on that, and it's really just kind of lights out for most anyone that gets thrown. That's anyone that doesn't have a quick exit.
Wait is over.
All right, so we see the Ghoulish Daniel going to get picked up by Lampico here, and as well as Cassia this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Good pick. Toronto's, I think, is going to have a harder time kind of helping to heal, quickly heal some of that Gul'dan damage. He just throws out junk damage, and it's so oppressive.
All right, so grabbing that mouthfeel, that team is awfully squishy looking, especially into a potential Leap Sonya situation. But love to see it looking at here. So the Tyrande the Mosh Pit stuns here. We do have the Rainer Q, do have the Tyrande stun. So some Mosh Pit counters there, but yeah. So as we head into the third and final game of the series, Punisher, your turn, sir. Which draft do you like more?
Yeah, I think we see a lot more of a classic combination here from Metapicks, but I tend to favor those aggressive play styles. So I kind of like the side of VibeCheque here with the amount of blow up they have with isolating single targets here. You get one person even on ETC. If he's locked out enough between Rainer and Greymane, he's got a hard time surviving with no one to pull him out there. So I think I'm going to give this over to the side of VibeCheque.
All right, you heard it here. I guess the only thing I would have to say is Garrosh does have a hard time into a lot of poke, and Gul'dan and Cassia can provide a ton of poke, and then come level 20, Cassia, if she opts for it, can ignore all sort of armor that Garrosh has with that level 20 there. But we will find out what happens. Game 3 over here, looking for the win is Metapicks. We do have Toxic up here on that Sonya, Mazzino on the ETC, Lampico go ahead and picking up that Gul'dan, Pants on that Cassia, and Lee Dragoon on the Brightwing. And who do we have on the right-hand side?
Absolutely, Jax Taxman. Practiced that one before this on the Tyrande. Blue Space Hat on the Garrosh here. Giggle Smack on Rainer. Red Face Beast still sticking with that Greymane. And then Megu Milk pulling out the Mouthfeel.
Alrighty. So just both these teams going to go ahead and position and trade some of the poke, but we do see both offlaners going to opt to start in that top lane, try and catch that soak.
Yeah, and I gotta say I don't like Tyrande kind of stepping up there, looking to proc some ways. It's a pretty easy maybe bait for the Garrosh toss, but she's an easy blow up target if they get on her. So we have to look out for that just a little bit here.
All right, so Mazzino is going to be able to stall the Garrosh rotation there to demount him, not let him run at anybody, and get that quick toss. But I like the wave clear coming out already from the side of Metapicks here, but they're going to opt to just keep Sonya. They're going to rotate the 4-man versus let Sonya doing her thing. But I like this pressure here coming out from VibeCheque, realizing this, but needs to be careful. Blue Space Hat does get slid underneath. In comes
no.
I was waiting for that polymorph, but down. But we do see poor Brightwing does get that toss and the blow up, and the pings are going to come out. They're going to look to invade here, this Sapper camp, and I don't think there's anything they can do. Now, Hypershift is up here, but she's not up in 5 seconds, so they will make quick work of this.
Yeah. And maybe we see them, they're looking to fight over this. We see the Brightwing coming out on the Greymane there, and they do successfully hold this retreat and maybe look for a little Sonya coming in. And I think we're going to see Garrosh go down there. Nice rotation down from Toxic, recognizing the team could potentially get a few kills there. And I think we're going to see VibeCheque go lick their wounds a little bit after the counter kill.
Absolutely, I like that rotation in there. Now they're going to opt for the invade. Great job again by Toxic rotating up in here as the 5-man. But Garrosh is going to walk his way in. Pings are going to come out. They know that they are there, but just great, early game momentum coming out from the side of Metapicks.
Yeah, I like that. Again, the good 5-man aggression there. It definitely lose a little bit of soak on that, but 6 of these camps in, as you know with towers, it's all about that bottom control. So the quicker we get this down, the harder time it is to start recovering. So I like the aggression there.
Yep, absolutely. So we're taking a look here at this. Just curious at the soak lost by Sonya there. Where is it there? XP. So lost about 1,000 XP in that counter rotation there as well. But getting the kills, both teams are sitting here at halfway to level 6. For the toss out onto the ETC, great slide coming out from Mazzino. No other follow-up CC, so he will be able to get his way out of there. And they're going to see the Hypershift coming in from Lee Dragoon as we do see the first set of altars going to spawn here. Going to see the trade up in the top lane. The slide is going to come out. The polymorph to follow up is onto Blue Space. Had the toss onto Mazzino, but it is not going to be enough. And that amazing stun coming out from Toronto does get the kill onto the ETC there. Pants finds himself low, but does get out of there. Not enough damage. Sneaks out sub 300 health. Great peel from Gigglesmith there with that shotgun from the Rainer.
Absolutely, that's just the power of Garrosh there, right? We see all the armor out there, hanging out there, able to kind of save himself and live through the onslaught there of the damage and really just punish ETC for sliding in and thinking they could get that kill. And really good plays by everyone to refocus and focus on the ETC there. So nice job from VibeCheque.
Absolutely. So we're looking at this one here, like you said. It's all about that bot gameplay here. So I like the position coming out from Mazzino here, sitting in that fog of war. But Blue Space Hat going to step up, trying to do the same thing, trying to be that mounted Garrosh. But the pings are going to come out. The siege camps, timings from both these teams are pretty good. Out comes a toss with the great boop coming out from Mazzino. Does get that slide out as well. The polymorph onto Garrosh. And again, just some great CC, great some peeling from both these teams.
Yeah, I think that's the way you play that, right? We saw the patience on Mazzino there wait for Garrosh look to throw, and instead of sliding through to get him, he just bounces him back and then slides back, right wing polymorphs, and you know, it's hard to play the game when you can't do anything and press buttons. So nice work on their job to kind of counter that a little bit there.
All right, so Jax Taxman is going to throw out that owl. Seeing Metapicks go ahead and take their Sapper camp, they will rotate on their own. Both teams have 7, so I'm guessing we won't see any sort of invade here, but Mazzino with a great positioning to defend any sort of Garrosh flank from the team here. Does get the boot, does face check that bush, does not get tossed into the back lane, but does slide into that, there you go, there's the toss out onto a great step backwards, but unfortunately does not have that boop and does go down there. Toxic does rotate in on this, but a little too late. But they do have their Sapper camp. The wall is down here. We do see VibeCheque going to go ahead and clear out the Sapper camp as well as push their own as this solo altar channel starts here. 3 seconds till ETC is up, so I'm not sure if we'll just maybe see a little bit of poke and some stall here. But they do have a lot of stall with the Garrosh. But Pants is going to get jumped on. Out comes the stun from the Garrosh and tossed back in onto the team. Out comes the avoidance damage there as well, and she does live. The avoidance is just phenomenal coming out from Cassie. She is as much of a bruiser as any other team. The slide is going to come out, and the damage coming out on it too. Megalomilk does get poked down from that. Cassie is going to eat that Q, but the channel does go over in favor of a VibeCheque. But Blue Space Hat finds himself low, does toss Toxic out of the way when he's spinning, but that poison damage is coming out. Jax Taxman does get the friendly yeet to save Jax Taxman, but unfortunately healing from Tyrande does not come out, and then down goes Garrosh. So a 2-for-0 trade in favor of Metapicks.
Yeah, I think, we saw that. Would like to see maybe stall out a little bit there. They have to get the mouthfeel kill. And again, poor Toronto just cannot heal through all the junk damage coming out from Gul'dan there. So nice job on VibeCheque for, losing the objective there a little bit. But way to punish them for hanging around too long there.
Absolutely, and great defense there. Usually you had 2 members down, and they still hold on to their bottom bell tower here. But 10s, and they're working their way onto 10s. Both teams should have 10s here. Gigglesmith is kind of a little out of position here. Needs to be careful that doesn't get slid on from the ETC, but Blue Space Hat is stepping up here to try and help defend any sort of engage.
Great, and we see 10s online here, Dax, so hoping to see a good of the stuff. And like you said, we see that leap coming out from Sonya here, hoping to maybe disrupt the backline a little bit for VibeCheque.
Yeah, absolutely love me some Leap Sonya. But yeah, Tyrande, no, we talked about it before in game number 1, just very immobile, and Sonya Leap, and all of a sudden, all of your healing and follow-up CC is taken away from you.
And looking here, maybe we're going to look to slide on Rainer, but he kind of gets out there a little bit easily, so we're going to look at this bottom camp, and we're looking at a potential invade here. VibeCheque positioning pretty aggressively.
They're a little slow. Yeah, Metapicks is a little slow on the rotation. I think they were maybe looking for the invade here. But Mazzino is going to step up. Out comes the slide from Mazzino. The toss
as
well.
Fly.
Oh, she does blink out of there. The fear is going to come out as well, but Blue Space Hat is living in the backline. Does get the pick from Rainer onto that Brightwing, but the great slide coming out as well. Lempico is trying not to eat all of the Starfall, so a 1-for-1 trade, and the danger pings are going to come out. Mazzino doing a great job stepping up and eating that owl, and just a successful trade of these altars.
Yeah, and that pesky blue Fruit Fly just barely getting almost out of there, but you know, the Fear with the Garrosh and the Rainer ult there with Hyperion, just enough damage to kind of take it out there. But good counter kill on the Garrosh.
Yep, absolutely. So we do see the rest of the team just try and pressure Megalomilk here out of the lane, but we do see Red Face Beast and Jax Taxman is going to go ahead and just rotate onto the Sapper camp. 11's now online. Both teams are up and available, so again, I think we'll just see both teams respectfully going to go ahead and take this, but Blue Space Hat isn't done. They do get the vision coming out from the Tyrande. They will just let it go. Try and push this out as well.
Yeah, and you know, looking at the soak game here, we see Mega Milk really just kind of sticking to Sonya here, looking to outsoak by about 4,000 experience here.
All right, and the solo mosh out onto that Malthael. In comes the toss, the taunt coming out from Blue Space Hat, taunting onto Mizzino and the pants. The avoidance isn't going to keep her alive this time. We do see Lampico going to go ahead and throw out all of that that E damage out, but a 1-for-1 trade there. They do get the pick. And then you have to send somebody to deal with the Sonya, you know, in the soak, so they will be able to catch back up here in soak here a little bit and on their way to 13s.
Yeah, hopefully we look to see here kind of getting a little position there, but I'm hoping to see Metapicks look to maybe push this in a little bit, maybe start doing a little bit of work on bottom, start shoring this up, and maybe looking to control that bottom lane a bit here.
All right, so the altar does spawn here in about 15 seconds. We do see both of these teams go ahead and start trying to position here a little bit. Cassie is on her way. Pings coming out onto the ETC just to provide the location. 13's not quite online yet, so it does not have the cooldown reduction for that mosh pit yet. But the corruption does come out, not going to be able to connect to anybody, but sitting at 30 stacks, so 10 more to go for that Gul'dan. Out comes the Hyperion, but Mizzino does get tossed, does get the slide, does catch onto Jax Taxmans, but out comes the Starfall to get that cooldown reduction, but in comes Leap connecting the two members into the backline. Out comes that Fear. Red Face Beast does get thrown away, but Blue Space Hat trading into the kills. Down goes Sonya as well. Pants finds himself a little bit low, and do we have the ult coming out from Megalomilk, or did he already use it? Already taken a peek at it?
We already used it to get... Yeah, I saw that already used there.
All right, holy smokes, and that is a 4-for-1 trade going over in favor of VibeCheque there. Yeah, the way he was stepping up onto that Cassie, I didn't look to see if he still had it, but I thought he was just going to walk into that and go ahead and pop that last rights there. But another swing in momentum here in favor of VibeCheque. I want to see them try and push this bot lane here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we just didn't quite have 13s on in time before ETC looked to engage there. So a little bit of a misplay there, but you know, it's Towers of Doom. It can snowball really quick the other way here, get a few objectives. But I like the boss call here now. Really looking forward to kind of get a free four shots on Metapicks core here.
All right, nothing else to do on the particular map. They do scout out their own camp. They are not there, so that's where they will probably head. But even talent here from both of these teams. Let's see if we see maybe an invade. But I think both teams, yep, Blue Space Hat just trying to get some vision, just find out the location of Metapicks here.
Yeah. I think we're seeing Sonya trying to catch up here a little bit, right? So Toxic's just going back and forth, trying to get them a little within the slight level disadvantage they have. But we'll see VibeCheque get 16s here, I think, before we see Metapicks. So what do you want to do in this position, Dax? Do you think you look to be a little more aggressive if you're Metapicks, or do you just kind of play the 16s and see what you can do?
I think you have to be aggressive. If you're going to make a pick here or make a call, you need to do it. We do see both offlaners going to go ahead and scrap over that top boss there, but 16s are online. You do have the cooldown reduction from the Encore here, so I think we do see Mizzino fishing around for a mosh pit, and I think right here, right now, is the best way to do it. Maybe get a Horrify coming out from Lampico, but I think they just danced around a little too much here. We do see some extra stacks coming out from the Corruption, one away for the Gul'dan, so we will get some extra damage coming out from that as well. So we do see a 3 altar phase here. Probably just, just gentleman trade up in the top lane. Pings are going to come out. We do see Lee Dragoon going to go ahead and start that. Out comes the Hyperion. Great stall technique. The toss and the stun is going to come out, and immediately blown up is the Cassia. Out comes the Mosh Pit, going to connect on to the Greymane there, but Giggleshmek is just auto-attacking away. But great Blink Heal coming in from Lee Dragoon, but might find himself the Blink Heal, the toss coming out from Jax Taxman. I don't know if he meant to throw them, but maybe connect with the stun. The toss back is onto Mizzino, and that will be a 3-for-0 kill in favor of VibeCheque.
Enough of this charade.
Yeah, absolutely. And just unfortunately, you know, kind of a quick lesson in not engaging with talents down, right? They don't have the better four-man versus four there. So I think it's one of those things where you got to, if you're rather Metapicks, you got to learn to just maybe step back a little bit, wait for 16s. The game's not over yet, but this is going to cost them pretty dearly here, losing three members down there on that engage.
Yeah, the game wouldn't have been over. Boss was already off the table. They got their own in the top lane. I think, like, come 16s there, I think they should just forego that one and maybe defended down here. So now, you know, they are at 8 shots left. They are looking at 5 particular shots on the next altar phase if they don't cap this bottom bell tower. And in with the raid is Jason. Hello, sir. Hopefully the games were good. Looking forward to keeping up with that one, catching that VOD a little bit later. We are in a barn burner here between VibeCheque and Metapicks here in Game 3 on Towers of Doom. And Lich Queen co-casting with Jason. I am absolutely going to watch that VOD, dude. Hopefully the games went well. Hopefully the cast went well as well. But we see VibeCheque in pretty much a commanding lead here. They do have this bottom bell tower, 28 shots to 8. In favor of them. Out comes the Hyperion. Probably just a zoning ult here to try and push them back. I mean, but they do have the poke coming out from this Gul'dan. They are going to try and rotate. They need to be careful here because the positioning is a little bit in. But Gigglesmack, they could just turn it on him. Blue Space Hat does step up here, but Gigglesmack does rotate back to the tower. I like that rotation, but Lead Dragoon does find himself tossed in there, got caught in that little bush. The taunt is going to connect onto 2 members. Mazzino hits a 2-man mosh pit, but he loses his life as well. Blue Space Hat does get the healing off of that W, does get that lead from Sonya, and down they go, but out comes the ball. Lightning trying to finish the deal there, and a 3-for-3, 4-for-3 trade right now as we see Redface Beast trying to chase down Gul'dan and gets that kill there, and what a bloodbath there. GG's coming out in both these channels, and Game 2 and the series going over to VibeCheque.
Yeah, and well done there again. You know, a little bit of a good pincer move there and forced them into basically a corner there with ETC kind of out of the play there. You kind of left your squishies in all alone, and at that point, there's just not much you can do about that. So, well done for VibeCheque, pulling out the last 2 wins of that, and like you said, capturing the 2-1 win here today.
Yep, absolutely. So I think the play that was there is to maybe turn on to that Rainer, right? Gigglesmack was sitting back there. 3 or 4 members were there as everyone else was kind of showing underneath that fort, but unfortunately it didn't happen that way. Then we saw poor Brightwing kind of get caught in that bush. But yeah, just well played, both of these teams. Fantastic series. Everyone that jumped in here, I recommend watching this particular set of games. Some really good back and forth action from both these teams.
Absolutely. So yeah, Dax, what stood out for you there? I think the one thing to me is, you know, I think Sonya definitely got put in her place here a little bit. We saw the, you know, Mephisto, or gosh, not Mephisto. Why am I blanking on his name?
Malfield?
Here, Dax, I'm sorry. Malfield, thank you. It has been a morning. I really just out soaking and really kind of put in the place there. Really, you know, kind of punishing Sonya for going down and trying to do a few invades there. So I think we see that in the experience captured here. Really help VibeCheque just kind of take the demanding lead there over levels and talents.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Sonya did the right thing to rotate onto the team, but again, if you know VibeCheque can win fights 4v5, I mean, it just puts them in an astronomical advantage there. And we saw it, and we're getting 17 picks to 9 in that set. So I'm looking forward to a rematch between these two teams. Hopefully, we might get to see these two teams square off in the playoffs again. I'm going to take a peek here at the talents as see if maybe we can get an interview here.
Sounds great.
All right. Anything standing out to you here?
Well, Dax, I gotta be honest here. I hit that leave button a little too quickly, looking to switch over here. But you know, honestly, I think the big one for me, you know, the healing definitely Brightwing didn't quite get a heal as much. I think these fights were over a lot quicker. But you know, Tyrande, I think had a little better showing this game with the focus healing there on her side. Within being, I think it was like 35 or 36,000 healing up to Brightwing is like 40 some. So yeah, I think it's just all around that style of play benefited VibeCheque, and they were really able to throw isolate and get some good kills in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm still sitting here on this particular screen, but we do see the corruption, typical Gul'dan build. And again, most of these builds, a lot of Echo Pedal coming out here from both of these teams on that ETC. Normally you see, I think the the W at 7. So maybe, like I said, I haven't played ETC in some time, so maybe something I'm missing there on that Echo Pedal. But Slam build coming out from the Sonya. That seems to be the meta build, Q build, same way for the mouth heal. But well done as we look like we jump into this interview here. Looks like I'll jump back to us. Unfortunately, we'll leave you, Punisher,
No worries.
for a minute as we get into this interview here. And it looks like we have Jack's Taxman. Get to continue
Beautiful.
saying that tongue twister. So let's jump into casting lobby number 1.
Sounds good.
Jack's Taxman, how you guys feeling after that barn burner beatdown of a series?
Speaking for myself, pretty excited. Speaking for everyone else, probably pretty excited, honestly.
Yeah, it was a fantastic series, a blast to cast. Both you guys. Now I saw you guys talking like you guys scrimmed each other quite a bit, or just recently scrimmed each other. But so just some good vibes coming out from both of you guys.
Yeah, we scrimmed them, I believe, last week, maybe 2 weeks ago at this point, or a week and a half, somewhere in there. But we played 4 maps. I think we won 3-1, but it was close, whatever it was. Each team took a map or two, and we had some really fun games there. It was the first time we scrimmed them, but I mean, after that, we probably scrim them again. And, one of the things I love about leagues like this is that, everybody's here really to have a good time. It's like as you could tell from the banter, like both teams really we want to play good, fun HOTS, and I think what we played today was some good, fun HOTS.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys put on a clinic for everybody. Like I said, we just had a couple raids here quite at the end, and I recommended them to just follow up, in just rewatching the series because it was one to write home about. Punisher, any questions to open up here to Jack's Taxman?
Yeah, no, I think congratulations are in order there. It was a really well fought series. But I guess first question being, if I can, kind of, what was the adjustments you guys made between games 1 and 2?
Well, we just sat for a minute, reconcentrated. We were like, okay, what went wrong, and what can we do better? And it also, a lot of it centers on the map. After that first map on Alterac, we were like, it really just didn't work out great for us. So we were like recentering, going to Volskaya, where we were, a little more comfortable. We knew it worked, and honestly, what we were saying to ourselves, kind of to pick it up, right, is right at the end of Alterac, we went to the top boss, and they were at the bot boss. And if we had been at the bot boss instead, we would have had a fight to potentially, save the game. Who knows what would have happened from there. So we're telling ourselves, all right, guys, we picked the wrong 50-50. We lost the game off it. But that was a close game. We know that we're good, just as good as they are. And if we play well, we can win that next game. Got the mental back, did the little reset where we were feeling ourselves on Volskaya, and then it's really, it's that simple, honestly. There's not a whole lot of, we know we need to pick this. It's just get the mental reset, get yourself ready for the next map. We knew what we wanted to do, and we were able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I even had written down here that that boss, that 50-50 boss, just because you guys started there. I mean, in that play there, like you said, it was a coin flip, right? So both teams were taking the boss that was going to march onto core, and unfortunately, you guys peeled off to maybe defend there, and unfortunately lost that team fight. But I can't stress enough, like you said, that mental reset. A lot of teams maybe tilt after game number 1 and come into game 2, and you can continue to see that tilt. But you guys came out and smacked Metapicks right in the mouth and took game 2 from them. And then on Volskaya, it was real close. I thought you guys were going to try and end at 18. You had that keep. You started marching top after 3 picks. Just curious on comms at that particular point. Were you guys calling to end, or maybe just try and get some damage on the core?
Well, what we were saying, and I'm, some would say maybe too greedy sometimes, which probably stems from the fact that I typically, before this, I've been playing mostly bruisers, and I've now shifted to healer, which means that I try to do bruiser positioning, and I have to, restrain myself from flinging my Deckard face into the front line.
Yep.
So I'm like, guys, I think we can end here. We should at least look for it. And we're talking. Blue our tank. He's shot calling. He's saying, all right, I think we should step up, look for it, and then be ready. We all got on core, and then we were like, probably can't do it. Let's back up. And we maybe backed up a little too late if that was the play because we lost a couple. But it ended up just we took it, step back, reset, get it going again, get the next good fight, go for the win. But yeah, we were like we really wanted to push for that end game because it was like let's just get this over with. Don't give them another chance to get back into it. But then as we were getting there, we realized this is maybe not, we're moving. It's like, okay, this isn't super clear cut. We probably won't get a free end, so let's just cut our losses, get out.
Yeah, absolutely. And it played off, and like had the late game team comp, and just Deathwing just did a fantastic job in game number 2 there, just being a real bully on those particular choke points. But yeah, and then come into game 3, like Towers of Doom. Is that like a map you guys like to play, practice well enough? Thought maybe your offlaner could out soak or out trade maybe what they had going on. Just I like to hear teams the thought process when it comes to to either first pick or or where they go for maps.
Okay, so if I'm gonna keep it 100% real with you right here, and this is gonna sound weird. I can only remember us playing that map like once as a team, maybe twice. We have very little as this team. However, Blue Space Hat as our shot caller, he's played that map enough that he feels really comfortable with the calls on it, and I've played with him before on other teams, and so we were kind of he was feeling okay, like that map. And Megu as our offlaner was thinking, all right, maybe that Malthael double soak. He just said, well, when we picked it, he was like, guys, I'm thinking Malthael double soak. I'll go for it, and you guys can just do your thing in the bot lane. And we were like, okay, that sounds pretty good. The draft was a little hectic after that. We knew we wanted that Malthael, and then other than that, we were like, what do we want? We almost picked a Nubrak. We ended up going with Garrosh. It was a little bit of a scramble. Ended up going with that Garrosh Rainer, but it worked out. Even though we had the double auto, but Greymane does all that burst damage, so you still kind of have the sustain and the mage, even if they're both auto attackers. So I think as a whole, we ended up feeling pretty good about it. And then I have something I want to add real quick, so I'm just gonna keep going before you ask the next question.
Go for it.
I'm just gonna say that what was really fun was we're playing and we're getting that lead, and I was talking before the game to the guys like, guys, this is a super swinging map, which is kind of good for us, kind of bad for us because we swing back and forth. If we're winning, we got to put the pedal to the metal. We got to step on that gas, because Towers of Doom is the classic. You hold on to the late game, you have 1 health, but if you just hang in there, you can take it back, swing it all the way back. But we did a great job. Want to really shout out everybody. We just kept the pedal to the metal and ended up finishing that off pretty early.
Yeah, absolutely. It was quite the show, and you guys kind of got that 3-level lead there in the late game. But Punisher, any other questions for you before we let Jack Saxpan go celebrate with the team?
No, I was going to ask about the towers there, but you guys, in my opinion, you played that almost pretty flawlessly there. So really, really good job on your guys' picks, rotations, and really just kind of unfortunately kind of abusing some misplaced by the Metapicks. So really, really good job. Congratulations to you guys.
Yeah.
All right, absolutely. So before we let you go, Jax, any shout outs for you and the team here?
Oh yeah. Got to shout out all my boys. Shout out to everybody on the team, obviously. If I had to pick a player of the game, it's really hard to do so because I'm just focused on myself in the back line and keeping everybody alive. But I'm gonna go with Blue Space Hat for this one. I feel like he was really setting it up, being a team leader for the guys out there. But I really think everybody, Giggle and Red, just holding it down with the damage. Megu, some great soak. Definitely then also want to shout out my boys back at home, our college team that Blue and I play on.
Nice.
Hogs of the Storm, University of Arkansas. Represent, go Razorbacks.
All right, absolutely. Well, GG's to you and the team. Go celebrate with your team. Well played, well executed victory by you guys. Hopefully get to follow you guys, cast a little bit more. I know we had already played our match against each other, but hopefully a rematch there, and we can put on a show as well.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right, Punisher, I will call you right back, sir.
Sounds good.
All right, Punisher, where are you at? There you are, my sir. Start video call. There we go. That beautiful human being himself. All
Beautiful.
right, sir. Well, thank you for going the distance with me. Good, that 3-game final coming out there. Punisher, man, anything you want to just pimp or shout out? I know you're a man of very few socials, but I just appreciate you being here. Love casting with you. Always a pleasure having you here. But anything you want to pimp here tonight?
No, Dax, you, my man. Again, thanks for letting me kind of crash this again for the third time. It's continuing to be a blast, and hopefully, we're doing you proud there. Otherwise, no, GG's to everyone tonight, right? And obviously, thanks NGS for putting this on as well. It's been a great community to be part of, and like they said, it's such a good community where everyone's kind of really can just banter back and forth and really not get too upset with some losses there and still scrimming and still being able to chat and talk and be able to exchange some ideas. So thanks to you guys, and well, I guess we'll hopefully see you on the next stream here, Dex.
All right, absolutely. And as for everyone, thank you for the raids coming in here from, I think we saw Taco, I think we saw NGS, we saw Jay's on. Everyone, thanks for coming in for the follows. But I am Dax. You can find me here at Dax_Hots here and Twitter. Both is Dax_. I play Heroes of the Storm. I play in NGS. I cast a lot of games here, so I appreciate everyone for being here. And thanks again to NGS. If you want to support NGS, I don't know where the bumper is currently. I don't have it here on my stream deck. But if you want to support NGS, it will never be a pay-for league. But they do have a patron. If you, like I said, even $1, you can help support, keep this league going. That we absolutely know and love. But we will see if there's anyone else to raid over to. I think all the matches. I think this was one of the last matches of the evening. But we'll find somebody playing some HOTS to continue this party rolling. But again, thanks to everybody coming out tonight. Good evening, and we will see you next time.